So tell me about the inception of the Braddahs. You guys reconnected. You guys knew each other a little bit before that. Reconnected in your 30s?
Yeah, it was right at 30.
Yeah.
Right 29,
Well,
30
yeah.
when we started. Yeah.
When you reconnect, was
Yeah,
30 when we started the
started the
Braddahs,
Braddahs,
but
so-
the reconnection started at the Don Ho show.
Yeah, we knew each other prior to that, but I mean to actually start.
But
the
that was
Braddahs-
kind of on the vague side.
Yeah.
That was on the vague side until I showed up when I came back from.
We already
California.
finished the acting, did the modeling, did the theater, and did all of that. But leading up to the inception of the Braddahs was just one phone call. He comes over, tells me, "Hey, what do you think? We should do it? We can try. Just do a skit."
I was working on some music. Like I said, for Augie and Lanai. They were doing some stuff like how, the guy used to make the parodies on music. Was it Jankowitz? Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I think it came up like 5-6 songs, some parodies with some local words, off like Biggie Smalls music, drum beat, etc., etc. Some things fell through, but I still had all the music. So I was like, wait a minute, I paid for all this. What if I took some characters and then just kind of did some characters and introduced the music bit? Hey, Silva, I got some lyrics here and some ideas. What do you think? 1, 2, 3. You do that character. I do the opposite character. The yin and the yang, and then you goes
That was
right
the
into
CD.
it. Yeah, that's the CD.
But prior to the CD, didn't we do the live performance as the Braddahs? Prior to the CD, at the school dance.
Not prior to the CD, in conjunction with while we were working
Yeah.
with, and then it was like on.
That
the
was our
release.
first live performance.
It wasn't even a performance. It was more like a stand there and.
It's 5 minutes. Felt like 50 hours. I mean, it was brutal.
It felt like a leap year.
It was brutal.
But the one thing that was said
Brutal.
from the onset, right in the beginning, before we even started with these restless teenagers, was, "Hey, you better not be making fun of the Samoans, huh?" I looked at him. I said, "See, we never say one word. They know what characters we're portraying." So now that was the only positive thing that we took, and I mean, like honestly, like that's like literally half of a mustard seed. But we went to the back and we said, he says, "Bro, so do we really want to do this?" I said, "Yeah, that's a fair question. But the good thing was, without us saying a word, they knew exactly what character and what ethnic diversity we were representing. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pitch some fastballs and see where it goes."
I remember Steve Woodward Company wanting to hire us for a Christmas party. $150. And I think we were supposed to do like 30 minutes. Well, they ended up canceling, but they put down like $75. It was ridiculous. I was like, wow. I look back at it. And them canceling because they got somebody else. And I remember they got Bull Irvine to do it. Like, we were no names. The Brothers. Who's the Brothers? We want them at our party.
Right.
And, since that time, we've done every company, corporation.
Multiple times.
Resort, hotel, event, picnics and
Hey,
Christmas
what, you guys get some
events.
new characters? What you guys can do? Like,
Yeah.
oh, man.
And so looking back on it, though, it was the start of something that we didn't realize then. We had like a 5-year plan. That came and went. 10 years came and went, 15. And then now we're doing the TV show, the Braddahs and Friends of Spectrum OC 16. When that kicked in, which is now what, 20? We're about 20 years, 20 plus years
20
on
years.
Spectrum.
Yeah.
And to have that relationship still going is a blessing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah.
The longevity of your career is what's really fascinating, because I mean, in most career entertainment, like I think getting past like 5 years, staying relevant more than
Yeah.
5, even in music,
Yeah.
is super hard.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the Taylor Swift, Drakes, like those people, the fact that they're still relevant for more than a
Being
decade,
relevant,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Well, being on a national or even the international level is, it's kind of one thing. That's a big animal to manage. With new content, and touring schedules and things, Tony and I, we're comfortable being relegated here to the islands. Our aspirations, I mean, not to say that we don't have aspirations for our comedy or for us to work nationally or internationally, but hey, we like to perform for who gets it.
Hawaii is your strength.
You know
Hawaii
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
strength. Why would we want to go
And I'm fine
elsewhere?
with that. He's fine with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't need to be stars. In the end, bro, what's left? Do you see yourself mentioning Robin Williams' name? Probably the most funniest man ever. Ever. Okay? I mean, I'm just saying, you need to be around to put it down. So while you're here, you got to make it count. And the only way you make it count, bruh, is just, bruh, go for the bomb, bruh. What if you don't throw it far enough? What if I catch a hamstring pull? Brother, I'm going to hit you at the 50, dog.
Skeeve 'em.
I remember, he just reminded me, this was this event, Maui. It was, and I won't say the company who hired us, but the main audience, I want to say they came out of Canada. So all Canadians / some Americans. Our humor is local as local can be. And they said, hey, can you guys change it up to make it more,
Caucasian
friendly.
with a little bit of French.
And said, yeah, we can, thinking we could. I tell you right now, Kamaka, when we went up on stage, we're supposed to do 30 minutes. I think we ended up doing like 10 or 15 minutes. We had to cut it short because it was just people are like not getting anything. Yeah. And then the client was crying in the back saying, how could you have done this to me? Because they were offended, and how could we have done this kind of humor? So it was like, okay, I guess we won't be doing these types of crowds. It was a one-off, and I'm sure all the stand-up comedians have their moment, but that was probably the one because I just remember.
Some days are paydays, man. Some days are just. You show up and it's a complete miss.
Yeah,
but
this one was probably that was
the
worst.
That was the
Pigeon
worst.
is hard for people who don't get it to understand.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
certain words like choke. We got choke this. Got choke meat. The Canadian. Choking meat. What?
No, you need to take it into context.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's comedy, so. I mean, some people are just like, well, I'm going to hold you to that word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at it in context.
But we learned a lot from that event.
You
Because
learn-
if we incorporated some material from what they understood to be correct or true or right, which is what we do. We take an event and go, okay, this crowd isn't really the local crowd, but we can take this
That's
and
where-
come up with some material with it. Now it's relevant to that audience and only that audience. And that comes with the experience because there's no other way of reaching them. It's impossible.
That's where, the entertainment aspect comes in.
Yeah.
You as a comedian know what's funny, but ultimately the presentation needs to be impeccable. Comedy, the timing is everything. You're 2 beats behind, you've lost the punch. You're 2 beats early, it's not even funny. It needs to be succinct, right in the pace of. And sometimes, when you're doing the live events, you can't go and edit. You can't reshoot. You can't rewrite. So what do you have to do? You got to tap the vein. You got to poke and prod, see where it is that they're coming from, He's a master at it, We'll go to a function and Mr. O'Malley Mali just comes out. Hey, aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is that. That's this. This is this. That's over there. This, that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are this and that's that. We'll be doing this in a little bit and we'll be right back. PB turns it up.
PP is our sound tech.
Okay.
Right? Our sound tag, he comes, does the little thing, little
Sound
all right
effects
here.
and music.
He hands out the papers. All right, this is the name. That's the thing. That's the thing. Don't say this. Say this. Don't say this. Ready? Go.
But if we're celebrating your wedding or your birthday, I would find out as much information about you as possible so that when we come, we not only know you, but people would say, "Oh, you obviously know the family because you know all these things, and you know,
Smart.
like Kamako was raised by the auntie, and then now we're using all of that within the material, and you don't even know it."
And
But we,
now they are engaged.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
oh, how they know that?
Now we can deliver our comedy. Now we can say what the Filipinos are famous for. We can say what the Samoans are famous with the Caucasians and and we can do stereotypes. Remember, stereotypes is not racism. There's a reason for why these stereotypes exist.
There's truth to them.
It's the funny part of that ethnic people's background.
and the majority of your comedians do stereotypes.
Come on.
The
What,
majority.
So only black people can do black comedy? That's baloney. Okay? Only white people can do white, and the list goes on. Only Filipinos can teach Filipino. No.
Yeah. I think stereotypes are true for a reason.
It's true for a reason.
Absolutely.
And so you go.
So
off
get
of
over
that.
it.
Yeah.
Just get over it, bro. Like if you know you
It ain't
make
that
a
serious.
you make a Filipino joke, you say, you know, what do you call two Filipino airplane pilots? A pair of pliers. Bro, that is funny, bro. That's funny. And I can say it, right? Because I'm Filipino. Oh, well, I'm offended. Well, are you offended by
even
lunch
if you
meat and
weren't
rice, man? Because I'm
Filipino.
going to whack that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Being able to read the crowd is very important. You gotta go with the
You
ebb
have
and
to
flow
read the
of
crowd.
it.
Yeah.
You have to read the crowd. Don Ho was a master of that. Okay, and that's the Waikiki-ness. Okay, that's going to be the people who don't understand the Caucasianness or even the Asianness. I mean, you could be from anywhere around the world, but you want to come to Hawaii and you want to be a part of a little bit of Hawaii. Don Ho did that on a nightly basis and could connect with the individual people. Tony and I got to see this and we would just crack up. Just crack up. Yeah, just crack up. It is just like, that's funny. The
But
interaction.
But his engagement, I mean, he took so long to tell a joke. The punchline was, well, it was like a 2-minute joke, but the people were like leaning in and waiting and waiting. And I was like, wow, there's something to this though. You know what I mean? You have comedians that have a slow cadence when they're working it, and some that they can do 5 jokes in 1 sentence. But that's learning the craft and finding out how that works. Therein lies the,
Reading the crowd,
secret.
that's entertainment 101. I mean,
Yeah.